Senator, thank you for being here with us. I want to introduce Senator Steve Martin, Chairman of the Education and Health, Senate Education and Health Committee. And we have a few local government issues that we think are very important this year. Everything from aid to localities, public education, transportation funding, workforce development. And thank you for being here. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on these programs and how we may fare as local governments in this general assembly.
Well, I appreciate that, Dean, and by the way, I might say I appreciate the friendship throughout the years and your service at, I think, largely my invitation to serve on Chesterfield's Community Services Board. You served on the Chesterfield Alternatives, my encouraging, in which we provide housing for mentally disabled adults, and which I think is a fantastic program, and I appreciate your involvement with that throughout the years. I was able to be president of that organization for quite some time, as a matter of fact. Yeah, you started with aid
My mentor.
Yeah, if you will. I'm not going to try to take credit for that, but aid to localities, the state puts an awful lot of money into local governments, but for good reason. I mean, the people of Virginia live within communities and jurisdictions, and we need to make sure that so much of the money that's taken in tax dollars, which we need to be careful about that, needs to go back to our people and needs to support the community. So it's our privilege to do that, and we try to do it with minimal mandates and watch out that we're not sending unfunded mandates back. Always keeping in mind, though, that we do provide substantial aid to our localities. The K-12 education funding, from preschool right on through 12th grade, we provide not only the funding but the policy direction that sometimes affects you with regards to how much classroom space and how many teachers have got to be hired. So we're trying to make sure that we conduct ourselves responsibly there. Transportation issues, I know, have hit you guys hard continually. I know the governor has a package he's just recently announced, and others have got ideas as well. I appreciate the creativity of the governor's proposal. I'm not fully behind it yet. There's some tweaking that I think will need to take place before I can get fully behind it. But we've got to meet our transportation needs. There's some basic things that government has to do. No one else can do it, and transportation is one of those, and we need to fulfill our responsibilities there. Your workforce development responsibilities that you have right now, and we've been dealing with this for years, there are 19 different political subdivisions, government agencies, department head departments that deal in one way or another with workforce development. And I have been asked by the governor to carry a bill that streamlines that and helps with the pathway, career pathways. And it's going to be my privilege to help streamline that process and to make it a little bit better. And hopefully we'll be successful with that.
Great, great. Can I ask a question, follow-up, I guess,
Yes.
on aid to localities? I know you're familiar with the governor's budget, and the governor put in an additional $45 million to do away with the reversion, what we call local aid to the state, that has been going for year after year after year, ever since Governor Kane put it in his administration. The governor has seen fit to do away with that and not require localities to pay that. Can you help us going forward in this General Assembly session to maintain that stays in the budget, and can you be supportive?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's foolishness the way we swap money back and forth like this. I mean, why should we even put it in aid to localities if you're going to have to turn around and out of the money that you raise send us money? That's foolishness. So yes, absolutely.
We have seen a number of years, we've seen K-12 dealing with public education. We, in our platform, one of our planks, priority planks, is supporting additional money for teacher raises, teacher increases. We're very thankful that the governor has put some money in there. We know that there are some strings attached to that, dealing with requirements of local money, local match money, and also
well, those have always existed. That's not a new requirement. I mean, we pay that part that falls under the standards of quality requirement, and it's always existed that way for us.
And so are you going to be supportive, I guess, in your legislation, when you're voting in the Senate, are you going to be supportive of that additional money coming in? We know that some localities may not be able to come up with the dollars to match that, but we know that that for some localities that can be very useful, especially for those localities who have had to take a hit. Teachers have had to take a hit on their 5 for 5 program that we had last year.
Are you linking that other issue of the reversion to this, or this is new dollars?
This is new dollars.
Well, I am not prepared to tell you that I'll support that yet, because I do think that there is a local responsibility to pay, yes, we understand that sometimes localities can't pony up and do it, but that doesn't mean I'll be opposed to it. I'm just not yet prepared to tell you that I can support that.
And I guess in kind of following up on the transportation issue,
Mm-hmm.
we're currently doing some due diligence trying to understand the governor's proposal, but we also know that Senator Watkins has a proposal that's been out there. Delegate Hugo, I think, has had some proposals out there, even though I think he and the speaker are co-patroning this, the governor's transportation proposal. Do you know of any other issue, any other stuff that's out there, I guess, as far as ideas? I haven't heard anything mentioned on tolling in the governor's, and I was wondering where that issue's at.
Well, I think the governor may feel that if we don't give him some solutions here, comprehensive solutions long-term, that he might have to, turn to more tolling. So tolling may be there just as a silent issue right now, but it's maybe a silent threat. But yes, I know how important it is, and there are a number of positions that people have that will show themselves through amendments as they try to tweak the different proposals.
And I guess finally, as far as workforce development, thank you for carrying the bill on workforce development.
That's a complex process, isn't it?
It is. We have always viewed that as a very big issue and a first step toward getting our kids jobs, and a step toward economic development and supporting localities and maintaining that the residents can live and work in the same area. And
well, it's my privilege, and Dean, just as has been shown here, we don't always necessarily agree. Over the years, there have been proposals from our localities for authorities that I'm not prepared to give, because I think our people need to be free of that. But I appreciate the working relationship and the way in which we can be honest with each other about these things.
Thank you for being with us for VACO on the Go, and I hope you have a very good session.
Thank you very much, Dean.
Thank you.